Yo, what's up? Let's talk about what you should bring to a photo shoot. What's up guys, I'm Phil and I'm packing up for one of my photo shoots today, and I just wanted to go over real quick, like if you're new to this area doing photo shoots for people, for weddings, for engagements, whatever. I'm doing an engagement today and I wanted to kind of go over how I pack my bag and what I bring with me. Now this varies from shoot to shoot, whether it's a family session, an engagement, a bridal, a wedding, or a newborn. Heck, even concerts. Depending on what that shoot is that day, I'd pack my bag completely different. Or if you're new to photography or even paid shoots, these are some basic items that you need to bring with you on every shoot. First and foremost is a camera. Whatever camera you have, it doesn't matter. As long as it's your camera, you know how to use it, and you're not sitting there fumbling around with it during the shoot, bring that camera. Another item that I would bring other than your first camera is a second camera, because if one is none, two is one. And in this field, I'll set that camera back down, and in this field, I've seen a lot of failures, even the day of the shoot. Card failures, camera failures, lens failures, light failures. I've seen it all. So having a backup is always preferred. The next thing you need to consider is what type of lenses you need to bring. For instance, today's shoot is an engagement shoot, so I'm gonna be taking photos real tight and also real wide. So one of the main lenses that generally lives in my backpack is a 70-200 from Canon. It is the 2.8 version 2. This lens probably never leaves my bag. It stays with me everywhere I go, and I use this more than any other lens. It gives me a great depth of field at 200 millimeters. I get a lot of separation from my subject and my background. Plus, I can also get up close to somebody in the image and still be far away from them and not be all up in their face. For weddings and stuff, it's nice because I'll stand in the back of the church or the venue and I can get real tight shots with using this lens. The next lens that I bring with me that generally never leaves my backpack is this 24-70. This is the 2.8 version from Tamaron, and this way I get to cover all the way from 24 millimeters to 200 millimeters with my other lens. This is also a f2.8 lens, which means it has a really wide aperture, which means I can capture a lot of light in and also have a very shallow depth of field. The next lens that I'll bring, this one doesn't come out with me very often. It comes with me to weddings and engagements and bridals. This one is the 50 1.2 from Canon. This lens is a bokeh master. If you want to melt your background, this lens or the 85 1.2 will completely obliterate your background. And if you remember, the aperture, the lower the number, the more wide open that aperture ring is, and the shallower the depth of field is, so that your background completely gets blown out of focus. So now that the lenses have been covered for today's shoot, what else should we bring? Extra batteries. I have shown up to a shoot with fresh batteries in my camera, and then I go to pull this out, and all of these are completely dead. Don't be that guy. Show up to your shoot with freshly charged batteries. I use this Think Tank pouch, battery pouch, I don't know what they call it, but the way that I organize my batteries, if I can see the terminals, I don't know if you can see that, but if you can see the terminals facing up, that means it's a freshly charged battery. And when I'm done using it, I flip the battery upside down. The next thing I bring with me to my shoots is lots of memory cards, because you don't know if you're gonna overshoot or if you're going to have a failure on one of your cards, and it's always good to have more than you think you need. This pouch, also from Think Tank, holds the SD cards and CF cards. Both of my cameras take both CF and SD cards, and I recommend you running both at the same time, because I have seen firsthand corruption on cards, one or the other, and then the other card saving my butt for that shoot. And instantly, as soon as I see a failure on one of my cards, I try to recover it, get the images off, and then in the trash it goes. I don't mess with that card anymore. They're cheap enough to where I can just purchase more. The other thing that I bring with me on my shoots is a couple of these speed lights. I've got 6 of these things, and I never know exactly what I'm walking into until I get there. And I may get creative and throw some of these around the scene just to get a little extra pop of light, or just a little extra light on my subject. Another thing that is really helpful and super cheap to bring with you on a shoot is one of these 5-in-1 reflectors. I've got a couple of these. I've got a small, a medium, and a large. These are really good for adding just that extra bounce of light towards your subject, or even shadowing them from some harsh light through, say the sun is coming through some trees and you got some weird splotchiness on your subject. They have a silver side, they have a mixed gold and silver side, and then on the inside they also have a gold and then a flat white. All of these give you different looks, different color balances going towards whatever you're pointing at. Also on the inside is what's called a scrim. It's kind of see-through. It'll add a nice soft light on whatever you're shadowing it on top of. That way you're not getting a harsh beam of light on your subject. And lastly, the last thing that I bring and I pack in my bag is one of these DJI co-pilots. These are really great for when I'm done with the shoot. It's got an SD card slot right here. I can pop my SD card in there and hit backup. That way, before I leave the shoot, I have 3 backups of my shoot. That way, I'm fully confident that when I get home, I have 100% of my photos backed up and saved. Because when you're doing paid work, the last thing you want to do is call that client up and explain to them what happened to an SD card that got corrupted, lost, or stolen. That'll ruin your reputation faster than anything, trust me. Well, this is just a quick video. I just wanted to explain what I bring with me on a typical shoot, whether it's a bridal, a engagement, or a family shoot. And hopefully you got something out of this video. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that follow button. Help me get to my goal of over 1,000 subscribers this year. And if I haven't told you before, I love your faces, and I'll see you next time.